What's going on, you guys? Full Steer, and I'm back with another video. Today's video, I'll be doing a JAX jungle guide for the preseason. JAX right now is actually a very good jungler, but you just gotta know how to play him, and don't AFK farm. That's really a big thing to remember here, because I see a lot of JAXs do that, and yeah, that's where it goes wrong. So this guide, I'll be explaining everything I do, starting with the runes right now. Now, this is the rune setup I will be using. I go for press the attack because JAX is an auto attack reset built in, so as soon as you just Q on someone, then auto attack W and then auto attack again, you instantly proc it, and then from there you will deal increased damage. Definitely the best one to go for. At this point I go for Triumph for the extra healing, so a lot of extra health you get just from kills. It helps you a lot in fighting people, like 1v3. A lot of situations where JAX can shine is later in the game with a couple of items and like 1v2, 1v3 situations, and he will still win. Like, he will just win. Triumph will help you out a lot in that, because getting that extra, like that missing health, that's key. That's crucial. Now, in the next one, you have two options, really. You can go for the tenacity one, but you can also go for the attack speed one, depending on the enemy team. Now, let's say the enemy team has hard CC, a lot of hard CC, fiddlesticks, anything you can imagine that has in serious amount of CC, then tenacity is definitely the way to go, because combining this rune with your Mercury threats at that point will reduce the amount of CC on you tremendously. So in those situations, this is the best. In other situations, you want to go for the extra attack speed, just to be auto attack faster, really. Like, it's pretty obvious. So let's just say you're against a hard CC team for this one. Now, in the last one, you again have a few options. If you're against a lot of squishy targets, you can definitely go for Coup de Grace, because then you'll burst them faster. If you're against a lot of higher health tanks, then you could go for Cut Down, but I wouldn't advise this, because it's on how much more max health they have than you. And with my JAX build, the way I build JAX, you build quite a lot of health. So this one isn't really an option in any situation, unless you're against like a Cho'Gath that goes for like a 10k health build, then yes, maybe you could go for this, but then you can also just build a Blade of the Rune King or something, you know? It's kind of, or like the other Last Whisper, you have a lot of options in that situation, so I wouldn't really advise this one. The other option, though, is Last Stand. This is a very good one on JAX, because you tend to go in 1v2, 1v3, or like dive into the enemy team, and then you get somewhat low, and you'll get a lot of extra damage. This is usually the one I will go for on JAX, because getting that extra damage whilst getting low, and as soon as you get low, you can pop your ultimate to gain a lot of extra armor and magic resist, and then your tanky items will just help you survive. Plus, then, going into the second tree here, you go for the Ravenous Hunter as well, which gives you a lot of extra lifesteal on your abilities. Like, you auto attack and then W someone, and that W is going to give you a solid amount of lifesteal. And that W has a very low cooldown, so you can use it quite a lot. Plus, your dodge and everything will just keep you alive. So Last Stand, definitely the most viable choice on JAX in most situations. Again, if you're against squishies, then this could be a viable choice as well. Now, as I said already, Domination is the tree I go in for the secondary one. This is the best one to go for on JAX, because you can go to a combination of Sudden Impact and Ravenous Hunter. Sudden Impact works really well with JAX's Q, so as soon as you use that Q, you get that 10 extra lethality slash magic penetration. I believe you get the lethality on JAX. Either way, it doesn't matter. JAX has hybrid damage, so it will work for both of them. But you get that extra, like, pen, and then you get the healing. The healing is very, very good on JAX, because you get your W back so often. So if you continuously fight someone, then every W you get, or every single third hit you get with your ultimate, you're going to heal off that, and you're going to be able to sustain. This rune literally, completely replaces the item that some JAXs used to build, is the Hextech Gunblade. Hextech Gunblade used to give JAX serious, it still does, it gives him serious amounts of lifesteal and sustain in fights. But with this one rune, you can completely negate that entire item and just the entire need of getting a lifesteal item on JAX, which is so, so good. So this is definitely the one you want to go for. This is the rune setup I go for on JAX. I've tested it over quite a few games, and this is definitely the one that came out, like, on top. So this is the rune page I use on JAX. Let's save that, and let's go over to the item setup that I go for on JAX. This is the setup I use. Let's get into it. I start every single jungle clear with my Hunter's Machete and my refillable potion. JAX doesn't really need potions to clear. He has the dodge ability, and you have 2 smites. Like, if you use your dodge ability correctly, you'll almost take no damage at all. Like, maybe you need to use like 1 refillable potion if you want to be full health, but usually you should be fighting your jungle clear, so you definitely just are good with a refillable potion. Now, what I prefer doing after that is the core. I rush Tiamat on JAX. Some of the people that play JAX jungle might be like, wait, why do you do this? The reason I do this is because JAX doesn't really have any AoE damage. the only thing he AoE something down with is his E. You can walk into the Raptor camp, put your E on, and then you can dodge a lot of the hits, which reduces a lot of the damage, and then the second proc will just deal AoE damage, pretty much putting all the small minions into like a 1 or 2 auto attack situation. But if you rush Tiamat, you will be able to just hit the big one, put your E on, and use the Tiamat active, hit it a couple times, and you can clear the camp that way. This will also be very beneficial for the Krug camp as well. It just speeds up JAX jungle clear by so much that it's actually worth doing. Plus, Tiamat actually builds into a very good item on JAX. So, I like to rush this just to massively increase my jungle clear. And also, wave clear if I need to hold a wave or something. So, definitely Tiamat. If you haven't tried it yet and you play JAX jungle, you should try it. I have tried it without Tiamat, but I much prefer it with. Again, it's completely up to you if you want to use it or not, but I would recommend you do it. Now, after rushing your Tiamat, what I do, I go into the Blood Razor with the Skirmisher Blood Razor enchant. I mean, you could go for Cinderhulk as well, but usually I find myself not really needing that extra health, the extra tankiness from that. I much prefer the extra attack speed that I get, plus my basic attacks will deal that 4% of the target's maximum health as extra damage. You have an auto attack reset on JAX with your W, so as soon as you auto attack someone, you're gonna proc your ultimate damage, you're gonna proc that extra W damage, and you're just gonna deal so much more damage. Plus the 12% damage you get from this, because 3 auto attacks in that situation, that's a lot of damage to have extra. 50% attack speed helps you a lot to get those auto attacks in faster. This is just the best one to go for in my opinion, because you can use your ultimate and your E to help you stay alive, really. Like, proc your E at the right time. E also gives 25% damage reduction based on AoE abilities, so you can help tank even more with that, and your ultimate gives you just straight up flat armor magic resist. Timing that correctly, you don't really need a Cinderhulk in any situation, really. Now, for the boots, there's literally just 2 options. It's either Ninja Tabi or Mercury Threads. High CC teams, Mercury Threads. Other teams, Ninja Tabis. That's simple, just depending on the enemy team is what you go for. Now, after that core build, you have a couple of items, as you can see right there, to finish your build off with. I have this item right here, because I wanted to talk about it a little later, but you guys know that this item is pretty much redundant now because of that Ravenous Hunter rune. So I wouldn't recommend going for this item, and I'll be removing it right now. This is the items I usually pick from in every single game. I will always go for a Trinity Force, so I might actually just put that in the core build here. Trinity Force on JAX is such a good item. It gives you the Sheen effect, Phage effect, gives you extra attack speed. Like, it literally gives you everything you could possibly want on JAX, so there's no really a reason for you to not go for it. Plus, that 20% cooldown reduction that this item has on JAX is really nice, because it will reduce the cooldown of your Q, your W, your E, like, just the amount of potential you get in just staying in fights like 1v3 with the extra CDR, and just overall this item is very, very good. I don't think I have to explain much to people when I say Trinity Force is the item to go for on JAX. Now at this point, this is why you bought your Tiamat. I usually finish this into a Titanic Hydra. Going for the other Hydra, not that recommended. The reason I go for Titanic Hydra and why I really, really like Titanic Hydra on JAX, especially now that you don't need like any type of lifesteal anymore, it gives you a lot of extra HP, which in turn helps you just straight up surviving, of course. HP is the most valuable stat on JAX, really, because if you use your ult correctly, you get that a lot of that extra armor magic resist from that, and like the extra defensive stats. So if you have more HP to stack with those stats, that is really the way to go. So usually Titanic Hydra, plus also another thing with Titanic Hydra is you can auto attack, then W, then Titanic Hydra proc, which Titanic Hydra proc resets your auto attack. So you can auto attack W Titanic Hydra proc to instantly get 3 hits in and just completely destroy someone. Because the first hit is gonna proc one of, like, the 3 hits are gonna proc a few things. It's gonna proc your ultimate damage, but it's also gonna press the attack. So as soon as you do that, and that combo, you just have to get it down real quick. Like, if you want to do it really fast, you just have to practice it a couple times. But that combo will decimate people. There are plenty of situations where I use that combo on, like, a Syndra mid lane. Let's say just a squishy champion, really. And you just one-shot them. Like, they're just gone. So this is why I really, really like Titanic Hydra. And this is also why this would work well with the Tiamat Rush, because it builds into it. So yeah, that's what I do. This, I mean, kind of, to be honest, this is my core build every game, these couple of items, because they just work really well together. And at that point, the last 2 items just vary in most situations. So, in most situations, I will look at this and I'll be like, what do I actually need? In all situations, actually, let's just put it that way. What do I actually need? What does the enemy team have? Does they have a lot of crit damage? Random's Omen really works well with that. And then, if they are full ED, for example, you can easily go with Thornmail in the combination with like a Random's Omen, or maybe the Gargoyle Stoneblade also gives magic resist, so actually not that effective. You can easily go for a random with the Thornmail combo against like a lot of AD, Yasuo mid lane, anything like that. You see that a lot right now, like Zed mid, like all those assassins, Talon, Zed, because lethality is really good right now, so being able to just stack 2 armor items like that on top of each other with Ninja Tabai will make you insanely tanky and pretty much impossible to kill. So it really just depends on the team. Now, there's one item in particular that I really like on, like, in this build specifically, because usually what I go for as like a build setup is this. This is the build setup I tend to go for in most of my games because it's very all-round, and this is like if I don't need to get an extra armor item in. My Ninja Tabai, if I'm building Ninja Tabai this game, this is likely the build I'll go towards in most situations, because Sterix will give you a lot of extra HP, which is very nice because, again, as I mentioned earlier, your ultimate gives you those resistances, so having more HP is beneficial. Then Stoneblade pretty much does the same thing with the active of it. It doubles your health if you use it correctly. You tend to dive in on JAX, so definitely useful in a lot of situations. Plus, at that point, you will still gain a lot of damage from your, like, your damage reduction is pretty much made up by the fact that you have a Titanic Hydra, and that scales off your maximum health. So at that point, Stoneblade combined with the Titanic will still give you a lot of damage output whilst also being incredibly tanky. It gives armor and it gives magic resist, and then putting that together with your ultimate will make you, like, spike up. If you use these active at the same time, your ultimate and this, you're very likely to just not get touched at all. Like, they might do, like, 20% of the damage to you. Like, you have so much resistance, it's actually insane. And, of course, you have to remember that Sterix Gaze gives you that extra base attack damage. Combine that with the Trinity Force procs, like, you're gonna deal so much damage. This is the build that, on JAX, makes you pretty much unkillable if you use your ultimate and the Gargoyle Stoneblade proc correctly. And you will deal an insane amount of damage without, like, even proccing anything because of the Sterix combination with the Trinity Force and then the double auto attack reset you have in your W and the Titanic Hydra proc. Now, again, in some situations you can't afford to go for this. You have to go for, like, tanky items. Adaptive Helm is very good against champions that just hit you with the same spell over and over again. Like, think Karthus Q, think Cassiopeia E, think, I mean, Vel'Koz ultimate. I mean, there's so many things. And then also Spirit Visage, if you really need some extra magic resist, you can get away with Spirit Visage as well. In a lot of situations, this will just be very nice to have that extra healing, because, of course, you have the Ravenous Hunter, but then if you have the Spirit Visage on top of that, you're going to heal even more. There's a lot of variable options for these items. If you have any questions on those options, make sure to ask them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. So, yeah, I hope this build was clear to you. If, again, any questions, make sure to ask them below, and let's get right into the gameplay now. Welcome to the gameplay section of this guide. As you can see, I'm playing JAX into a Twitch. Obviously, I'm playing JAX, by the way, actually, what I'm thinking here. JAX into Twitch is actually a very favorable matchup for JAX. The only downside is that Twitch has a lot of early pressure, and if your lanes die to that, that could end up going badly for you. But usually, if the 1v1 situations, comes around later on at, like, level 4, level 5, from that point onward, JAX just straight up wins, because Twitch relies on auto attacks, JAX has his dodge on his E. It pretty much just means that straight up, he can't touch you, and as soon as you close the gap and stun him, he is going to die. So at that point, yeah. Alright, I just walk into that brush right there. I think I don't actually know why I did that. I thought maybe the Zed was only in there and I could just walk in there with my dodge, hit him a couple times, and then maybe get some backup, but that was quite a questionable play on my end. I am not recalling here for some reason. I should have just instantly pressed the B button. I could have made it back in time with my full HP bar. But then again, JAX doesn't really need extra health in his jungle clear, as you'll be able to see in a second here. Because, like, your dodge will pretty much mitigate a lot of the damage for you. Alright, my support's doing something interesting. Actually, I'm curious. What is he doing? Because this game, I kind of remember it. But then again, I was, like, not really paying attention too much to it. She is like 70% health, walks into this. Okay, deals quite a good amount of damage to Twitch there. But then the red buff gets low enough and she dies. Okay, fair enough. That's what happened there. Let's go back to me. So she dies, giving Twitch an early assist, which kind of puts me in an awkward position, because that Twitch getting ahead like that can be very, very dangerous to deal with. But yeah, all you gotta do really in that situation is just take it and farm up a little bit. Ziggs is gonna be very late in lane to that play, actually. Holy shit. Zed already has like 6 CS. That's gonna be a crazy matchup now. I think Ziggs is gonna have a problem. Now right here, all I'm just doing is clearing my camps, hit level 3 of that. Make sure you have all 3 of your skills because it's very useful to have all of them. There's not really a point in for JAX to level anything twice. So definitely having all 3 of your skills at level 3 is the way you want to go. Now it's pretty much just use your W as soon as you use an auto attack when it comes to clearing. Like, you don't have to do anything else really. Also, you can use your Q on cooldown if you want to, but it's not that necessary. Alright, Ghost Borrow in that brush, so they had it covered pretty well. That's a good use of the Ghost Borrow, by the way. Putting in the brush like that, if you're a mid laner and go for like the Ghost Borrow, you can definitely do that and avoid a lot of ganks. Because usually people don't really walk into that brush all that much unless they're going to gank you. So in that situation, yeah. Alright, here I think I spotted the Twitch. I figured like he got slowed down by the Sona a little bit, so at that point I might be able to just walk up and invade him pretty easily. Then, of course, I am level 3. He had to slow down, so he's like going to be like level 2, maybe 3. But then at that point, I am still stronger than him, so I can just go in there, win the 1v in most situations, and then just walk away. Or kill him, for that matter. I do have to be careful, though, because their laners could react. But then, again, as I said earlier, my laners should have the pressure on his laners. Because the Ziggs is easily able to push, and then the Teemo will also be easily pushing. So I will have the pressure from the lanes going in, and as soon as they react, it's actually not that bad because I can just get away with just walking away, maybe getting out, maybe even dying, but then they could like lose like 2 or 3 waves in their specific lanes, which actually puts them further behind than helping their jungler out. So this is definitely a game where I want to invade as much as possible in like the top side of his jungle, because they just get pressured in so much. Now here is just standard clearing. I bought double longsword going into my Tiamat as fast as possible, of course. Now, as you can see, without Tiamat, I take quite a while actually doing these camps. And with Tiamat, as you'll see later on, it will be way faster as well. Now, I max Q first on JAX, by the way, because it gives you the most base stats. The other thing you could max first is your W for faster auto attack resets, because your cooldown is going to be lower. It's not that necessary. The best thing to go for is a Q max first, because it also closes the distance. So if you're going for look for like ganks and all that, having that extra Q cooldown can mean a lot in just being able to Q towards someone and then Q after them later when they flash. Ooh, right here. I was looking for maybe making a play here, and the Thresh actually went in on me with the hook. Now, I did die there, which is, I mean, not the best, of course, but then again, I believe Thresh ignited me in that situation. No, it was already on cooldown, never mind. Here, he just tanked it, so I was like, I might be able to get the kill on Thresh here and then actually flash out. I did get a slight minion block there. If I flashed over the turret in this situation like this, or like right there, I probably would have been able to survive it, and Lucian would have been forced to tank like 1 or 2 more turret shots, and that would have killed him. So if I did that, I probably would have gotten a double kill for my death, if Lucian even dove me at all. So I kind of misplayed that, but it's not bad for me, because on this recall I can just definitely get my Tiamat. I probably could still get it actually, but it's okay. I made the call to go for it. It didn't really work out as I wanted to, but sometimes you gotta live with that, you know? Thing to note here, I do have 37 CS into Twitch's 22 farm, so I'm definitely out farming him right here. I'm also about to hit level 6, and that's where JAX's power stack really starts, because getting the extra additional damage on every 3 auto attacks on JAX is crucial, especially in 1v1 situations. Alright, here I am actually not sure. Okay, looks like I'm going mid lane, because I saw that Zed was moving bot lane and my bot lane was trying to put pressure down for the turret. Actually, I remember this. Ziggs was bot lane staying a little longer to put pressure on the turret, to potentially get it, but then, alright, I was like, okay, I gotta push mid lane out and then maybe get something to work there. Now, here, I thought I could cut off the JAX, and I didn't realize that the Twitch was gonna be there straight up. They assist pinged it, I see that now, but I didn't know that in that situation. So I was like, alright, I can just catch this Zed as he walks up. So what I do here is I auto attack him, then press my E as soon as that happens. Then auto attack, W him. I mean stun him, then W him. Or whatever. And as soon as you like see how much damage I actually do. And I have like Tiamat, that's all I have. I nearly one-shot that Zed before he could even react. That's crazy good. If you have like a Sheen added on top of that, or maybe just extra attack speed, or that just your jungle item, straight up. Your Skirmisher Saber, with that 12% max health extra damage you get from Blood Razor, straight up murder someone. Like, the amount of damage I dealt right there was crazy high. Now here my entire jungle camps are up, so I'm guessing I'm just gonna sprint towards my top side as fast as possible and just hope that the Twitch couldn't react to that fast enough. I mean, if the Twitch was a little smarter, he probably could have run straight to my red buff and taken that from me. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I'm gonna take it, no problem. Now, right here with the Tiamat, as you can see, the extra clear speed you get out of it, you pop your E as well, just to reduce the damage. Your E is gonna help a little bit, and then you just clear this. Like, it's just gone. It's way faster this way, and that's why I prefer having that Tiamat. Oh, I accidentally pressed backspace. My bad, boys. Let me speed this up. Right here, I clear this. I see Twitch top lane. I was like, I might be able to counter gank that, but then again, I don't know. And then I saw Ziggs moving towards bot lane, so I was like, oh, do I have to cover mid lane right here? But then both of those plans kind of didn't go on, so I just thought like, alright, just let's get back to my jungle clear, really. As you can see with Tiamat, that camp's cleared much faster as well. Zed just killed the Ziggs, and he is low, so I was like, alright, he's recalling Envision for me, so maybe he's not paying attention for like half a second there in his shop. I could just use my E, go on top of him with Q, and if he doesn't react fast enough with his W, or maybe a flash that we'd have up, then I would just kill him straight up, and that's what happened there. I just stun him, auto attack him, proc my press the attack, proc my ultimate damage, and he's just dead. Like, straight up. Pretty easy kill. And just continue clearing my jungle camps right now. The big thing you gotta remember on JAX is you have to get those items to be insanely overpowered. So you have to make sure that you keep your farm up. As you see this game, I have 74 CS. The highest in the game is Teemo with 81. I am 3 CS behind that guy. And I haven't really taxed any, like, lane CS. It's just me from keeping my jungle clear up. Every camp is worth 4 CS. Every scuttle crab is worth 4 CS as well. And if you can steal camps from the enemy jungler, you get 4 CS. So my CS count is going up and up and up. And you have to make sure to keep that going. So I'm gonna go back here a little bit. I sped that up a little too much. Alright, so the bot lane rotated top lane after getting the bot turret, which is quite common. Now the Teemo kind of baited them backwards. They tried to dive for the Teemo. I go up to him. I flash stun him. Flash Q stun him. He flashes out, sadly. If he didn't have to flash, he would die instantly, but hey. Now here, I get him low enough, pretty much just to 10%, and then Teemo's Rune will kill him. So I actually got him with that, and I also got his flash for my flash. Definitely a worth the trade in my book. Because I don't need my flash that much as a Lucian needs it. Alright, here I actually dove that, and that turned out to be pretty bad for me. I'm not sure why I dove that looking back at it. I should have just been like, alright, I'll just accept the fact that I'm dead here. But I dove that. Thresh made a beautiful play. He prevented me from queuing onto him. Which, in the turn, I think that's what killed me there. So Thresh just played that very well. So that's very nice from him. I'm dead for 20 seconds. Speed through my death here. I'm 2-3-2, which honestly, not the greatest score, but I mean, this is the moment in time where JAX starts becoming a monster. Now, I just picked up my my jungle item right here, and this is where your damage starts kicking in by insane amounts. Now here, I'm just gonna push bot lane out real quick. I mean, there was no one there, and I could just clear it, right? If there's no one there, might as well push it out. I mean, CS never bad. Alright, I didn't kill that guy right there. I probably fucked up my combo. I did kill the Lucian though. He dove a little too far, and I came in from behind, did get him. Like, the Thresh and the Twitch couldn't do anything against me, because I would just kill them if they tried something. So, definitely just a free pickup on Lucian. Now, as you can see, I have 120 farm. Sure, I've taken some lane farm here and there that was free for me to get, but most of this is just to keeping my jungle clear up and having that Tiamat for that extra clear speed. As you can see again, just that Tiamat for that extra clear speed is insane. Now, there's a Zed right here. And I was like, alright, fine. He's like 2 HP. I can go back here. Like, I'll put this in slow motion. This is like the way you want to do it. The way you want to get your auto attacks in as fast as possible. So here I see the Zed. I see him walking there with like no HP at all. He has like 20% maybe. So then I put my ward over. I Q on top of the ward because the Zed is just barely out of range. Then as soon as he gets there, I auto attack him first. Then W for the auto attack reset. Then proc my Tiamat. Because I couldn't get another auto attack in, and that Tiamat actually killed him. So that's the way I got him. Now here, just keep clearing my jungle camps as much as possible. I'm on 126 CS at 15 minutes in game, let's be fair here. That's a very good amount of CS to have as a jungler for sure. It should be a little lower. It should be like 112 or something, 116-ish. More so because I did take quite a few lane farm, like 20 lane CS or something like that. But still, like, you should easily be able to have a lot of CS at this point already. Now this is where I pick up my Phage and my Sheen. Having that Sheen on JAX gives you an immense amount of burst potential. So that's definitely the key point where you can just go onto a target and easily just one-shot them at certain situations. Now right there, I go in, I do take quite a lot of damage, but I walk out because I did use my ultimate to help me defend myself. I can show you that, actually. Because as you can see right before this, I think my ult should... Let me go to it. There it is. I used my dodge here to maybe get the engage on Lucian. Didn't get it though. I did get the go for the engage later on to put pressure down. But then I popped my ultimate, which in turn gives me a lot of armor right here. It gives me 68 armor and 50 magic resist for 8 seconds. That is insane. Having that extra just free stat straight up is crazy good. So that's what allowed me to survive that for sure. You need to make sure that you pop that ultimate as soon as you're about to get hit by a lot of damage. So if you jump into the enemy team without your dodge up, or like your dodge goes down, you stun the entire enemy team, you wait a little bit, then you pop your ult as soon as all the damage starts coming in. And this is also when Stone Plate can be popped as well. The same time you pop your ultimate is the time you pop your Stone Plate, pretty much. So it's like, yeah. Again, I'm just gonna go clear bot lane here, because you do have to remember this, right? Look at my situation in this game right now. I am 4-3-2. My top laner is negative. My bot lane is 2-12, which is insane. Like, they are so far behind. So me taking Miss Fortune's farm is honestly how it should be. You guys might think that's like a dick move or something, but if I want to win this game, I need to be as strong as possible, especially on a scaling champion like JAX. The more farm you get, the more levels you get, you're gonna just be able to 1v9 the enemy team at some point, and that's what I'm going for right here. That's the only situation I can win this game, because my bot lane is just doing nothing, really. Like, they're useless. This is literally, at this point, a 3... Like, my top and mid are debatable, but this is like a 3-in-7 situation again for us right now. Like, the bot lane is pretty much just helping them at this point. So that's something you have to remember. You have to remember that if your lanes are not doing too well and you're playing a scaling jungler, it's better if you see the opportunity to actually take their farm and try to carry yourself than give them that farm and make them more useless. Like, they will still be useless. They will still be behind. But if you get ahead further, that's the way you win it. That's a very big thing to remember here. And that's something a lot of people need to, like get in their mind as a jungler. Just, if you don't play, like, if you play a full tank jungler, don't get me wrong, do not take that farm. If you play a full tank, not worth it. But if you play something like JAX that scales very well, definitely worth it. Okay, I'm like 300 gold off getting my Triforce. That's the massive spike. That's the spike where you can just start going in and murdering people. That's the spike you're farming for, really. That's yeah. I mean, early ganks on JAX are good, don't get me wrong. Like, the stun into Q ganks that you can get from, like, flank positions are insanely good because it's a stun. Like, it's guaranteed to stun someone, and in that time, you can auto-attack W, auto-attack easily, and then press the attack proc. You're gonna do, like, half someone's health, and then you're good. Now, here, I give the blue buff to Ziggs because you have to remember Ziggs has pretty good wave clear. We're in a bad position right now. If they were to siege, he needs that blue buff to be able to clear that wave constantly if I want to split push. Because the reason, like, what I want to look for this specific game right now is split pushing a lot. Or, like, a little bit more. And then relying on my Ziggs to be able to clear that wave. At the other time, like, it's a 1-3-1 situation here is good. Because Teemo can split push quite easily. Has a lot of 1v1 potential. Teemo right now is actually a very good champion with the amount of damage he can deal. And his shrooms will be able to just make sure he's quite safe. So, yeah, that's definitely something we want to look for. And that's why I gave that guy blue buff. Now, right here, the guy is 3-2. I am 4-3. I have a lot more farm than him. But you see how much damage I deal to this guy. That's the W into that. And then he's just dead. Like, straight up just gone. That's easy. He touched me for, like, 15% of my health, maybe. Straight up easy 1v1. Now, here I just start pushing the side wave in. Because this is what I need to do. I need to rely on my Ziggs and my bot lane to hopefully survive. Like, they need to survive and just wave clear, and then Teemo can split push, I can split push. If they react to Teemo, then my bot lane gets the advantage to push because it's still a Ziggs and he can push very fast. If they react to me, then I will likely kill like 2 people, maybe die for it, but then again my mid lane can just, or like my bot lane with the Ziggs can just push, Teemo can just push, and then that way you can get going. And that's really the way to win this. Even though the enemy team is very far ahead at this point, that's the way I'm gonna be able to carry this. Now, of course, I need to be smart about things. If Ziggs is dead, for example, I don't go to split push. Because at that point, I need to be there in team fights to actually help my team out. Because if I'm not, they can just push my entire base, then I will lose. So you have to be smart about it and don't mindlessly split push. Now right here, I'm level 15. That's the highest level in the game right now, as you can see. The enemy team on average is like level 11, level 12. My team, like Teemo is level 13, the rest is like 11, level 10. That's a very big lead right now. Now, a lot of people reacted to right here, to Teemo in the bot lane. This is what split pushing does for you. They can't 1v1 him, so they have to send more people. So Zed, this guy here, these both are there. And I saw this. I was like, alright, team, I'm gonna make this call right now. We are going for Baron. So that's what I did. I can easily tank it with my dodge up. My Ravenous Hydra will help me sustain. Every time I W, every time I get an ult proc off, I get a little bit of healing off. Plus my jungle item will also help me sustain every time I do that. Now here, I get the Baron. I'll slow this down a little bit, and then, because they obviously they knew they were gonna go for that Baron as soon as we made the call. But they were bot lane, so they had a long way to walk. As you can see, about 3k health. I'll hide everything. 3k health, 1500 health. I'm about to get this here with a smite. Twitch opens up with ultimate. I'm gonna just finish the Baron off first before I do anything else. Now right here, I can just easily win this. Right now, there's nothing else they can do. They can't kill me. I'm way too tanky. And I just wait for the Aatrox right here. Twitch knows he can't walk up to me, so he'll just instantly die. And I'm like, alright, just go onto the Aatrox right now and just kill him straight up. Keep going here. I need to be a little bit careful because I don't have my, I didn't have my E up, so I need to just stay back a little bit and wait for it. And then, that way I just win that fight. Make the Baron call, that's like something you gotta really get used to. As a JAX, you're easily able to tank Baron, no problem. So if you have like one extra damage dealer, you'll be able to get through the Baron pretty much like scab-free. So it's like, definitely something to go for. Now right here, this is the moment I pick up my Titanic Hydra, and this is the moment where you start to become a monster. As soon as you pick up that item, the amount of damage you can deal is crazy high. Now, this, the defensive items I'm going for this game, I bought a Wardless Mill as well in that back. Against their team, they have a Aatrox, they have a Twitch, Zed, and Lucian. The most fat really are on that team with a lot of crit damage. Like, Twitch and Lucian will crit me a lot. They went for crit builds. So that's definitely, like, something you want to counter. I want to counter, so I'm building a randomness right now for that situation. Let me go back, actually, in this fight. You can see the amount of damage I put out. You might have already seen it a little bit, but... yeah, okay. So I see the Lucian. I go in on the Lucian. I make sure that I use the auto-attack him first, then auto-attack reset, then Tiamat proc him. And then he just instantly, like, he went from 100 to 0 in, like, less than a second. Now, right here, I keep going. Again, auto-attack reset, and it just, his health just disappears. He was just gone. Alright, here, I'm gonna try to chase his head down a little bit, cut him off, but then Misfortune already gets him. I should have stayed around a little bit longer and go for the Twitch instead, but hey. Twitch opens up, which is a very strange move for him, not gonna lie, because I'm right there. I do still have my flash, and I just flash stun him. I didn't need to flash stun him, Misfortune ulted him, but hey. What it is, it's whatever you can do. I'm 11-3-3 right now with 233 CS. I'm 23 minutes in game. That is pretty much perfect CS. As you can see it. Alright, here we get that, and all we gotta do at this point is just pressure them down, and we can pretty much win. I am unbeatable at this moment for the entire team. I'm pretty sure I can like 1v3 them. Like, look at that damage output right here. I auto-attack W him, Tiamat proc him, as you can see, instant hits, and he just disappears. One-shotted him. Such a strong build. Like, you should definitely try this out. JAX isn't the hardest champion to play. The only thing with him is really, you just have to have good like map awareness to knowing how to split push and when to farm and even when to gank and all the situations. So I just jump in. I mean, if he hooks me, that's fine. I almost take no damage at all. My ult's still up, so I can definitely still use that as well. If I need to have the extra tankiness. I'm not sure why I'm not proccing it. Alright, there I procced it. I did proc it a little late, though. I should have procced it earlier in that specific situation. You have to remember, like, your ultimate right now, alright, right here. My ultimate gives me 128 armor and 76 magic resist. That is crazy high. If you proc that before you take all the damage, unless, in comparison to what I did there, I'm not sure what I did there. I just procced it way too late. Maybe I forgot or some shit, I don't know. But if you proc it before, you're gonna have so much extra, like, buffer to be able to survive and just 1v3 people. Also, your W here, as you can see, all incoming basic attacks, just you dodge them, and then taking 25% less damage from an area of effect abilities. That's a very big thing as well. So timing those properly is the way to win fights. That's how you win the fights. Now right here, I decided to walk out, I believe, but I believe the team just won and we just end here, right? I believe we end here. Like, I can easily heal back some health, but Sona can also heal me up and we can just go for the end. Yeah, that's pretty much the game. I just killed a Zed to finish the game off with, but that's it. That's just how you want to play JAX. This is a good example of just a straight up carry from a JAX, like making that right Baron call, going for the split pushes, just dominating team fights, one-shotting people. I had no bot lane this game. You have to remember that. My top lane and mid lane were slightly questionable, but they made the right calls with what they had. Zig stayed mid lane to make sure to keep that wave clear up. Teemo split pushed bot lane to make sure we could get pressure like that. And then the Teemo split push was reacted on. We did Baron. We won the game like that. I just did a serious amount of damage this game. The damage output I did this game was, I believe, like, the rest of my team didn't even come close. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did like 2 or 3 times as much damage as the rest of my teammates. We are ahead in gold now, but we were behind for this game for so long. So yeah, if you want to play JAX, if you just want to be able to carry teams like this, definitely try it out. He's a very good champion in my opinion. I definitely say he's one of the top you can pick right now if you play him properly. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up below. It does mean a lot. And subscribe for more. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye!